second. You can see a leadoff batter get on in the fourth inning and see a coach bunt. It's just a different style. The SEC is more of a slug style than what you see out of California teams.
The ball on the strike to count the Blue. Here's the pitch to Max. Swing and a miss. Over that is he's trying to draw the measure of that breaking ball. It's 1-2. Well, and I imagine the Big 12 is a little bit of a mixture, I guess, of both.
You're right. I mean, there's some coaches. I mean, you have a Josh Holliday club is going to be mashers. They're going to play SEC style. They're going to
1-2 pitch. That's down in the field turf for a ball.
But when you play, if you play TCU in the Big 12, that was the style that they would bunt, steal, run. They played just a little bit different style. You play Texas Tech, it's wide open, swing the bat, let's get after it.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Max Ballou. The pitch. That's low and away. Kansas, we would see them more bunt the runners up, try to advance.
Now, and Pete Hughes at Kansas State is a slug 'em because they play on a slug 'em ballpark.
Yeah.
I mean, we went there last year. You know, it's going to get out of the park.
Full count to Max Ballou. Off from first, swing and a miss, a strikeout. The throw bounces in the center field, but not far enough to allow Mendoza to advance. And while Ballou strikes out, Ethan Mendoza is 3 for 3 this weekend in stolen bases against Santa Clara. So for all those throws over to first, Mendoza steals second anyway on out number 1.
He didn't get a great jump. When you're running 3-2, your first job, don't get picked off. So at that point, he was making sure the ball was coming to the plate, and the throw would have had him if it would have been on time. It was just out in front in the dirt, actually in the turf, because there is no dirt.
Now coming to plate is the guy whose bat has truly come to life as we thought it would, Jalen Flores, who's batting .356 with 2 homers and 10 runs batted in. Swings here and drives one out to left, and that will 1 hop, 2 hops off the fence. Coming in to score is Mendoza. Jalen Flores continues to swing that bat well. He went 2 for 5 last night, and he has an RBI double to put Texas in front 1-0.
He's found himself and off to a slow start, but boy, these last 2.5 weeks, he has been really swinging the bat well. He got one of those pitches up, and you don't miss them. If you get one up in the zone, you got to take advantage of it. He was out in front, and is telling you a little bit about that breeze. That breeze really knocked this ball down, and it didn't get all the way to the track, and he hit it better than that, I can tell you.
So it's 1-0 Texas, and Adrian Rodriguez in as the designated hitter again today as he was last night. First pitch to A-Rod is down and in for a ball. Last night, Rodriguez 0 for 4 with a strikeout for the season. Adrian's batting .373, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in for the freshman. At a Flower Mound high in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the switch hitter at 6'2" and 210 pounds. The stretch of the pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike. The count is even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike the count. The pitch swung on, and that is going to be flared foul down the right field line. So we're told, Keith, that pitch that Martinez is throwing is described as a split change. Remember, we used to see Jessen Merle throw that for the Longhorns back in the national championship year of 02.
Its rotation is inside, and it's a split change, and it runs away from the left-handed hitters just like he's throwing a screwball, and his delivery is so far up top on it that he's turning that hand over as he does it. I mean, you can slow it down and really see it.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Here's the 1-2, and that's off the plate. 2-2 the count. So that is Flores now with 11 extra base hits in the last 6 ball games. Jalen stands at second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is outside, so count will run full. And here at 18 pitches in the first inning, Martinez still trying to record the second out. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. The payoff. And that's downstairs for ball 4. And very patient at bat worked by Rodriguez. You know, Jim Schlossnagle's clubs have led the country in pitcher per plate appearances in each of the last 4 full seasons. And coming into the weekend, the Longhorns rank 5th nationally. Obviously, it's a smaller sample size, but still, that's really the footprint of what Schloss likes to do.
Well, you got to force the starters to throw strikes. You can get that does two things. One, it gets them out of the game quicker and gives you a better opportunity deeper to count. The more you see pitches, the better chance you got to square one up.
Kimball Schuessler at the plate now. Swings to the first pitch, sends a fly ball out as it tails away, but the center fielder, Ross, able to make the catch since the ball was tailing away from him, and he's going away from the play on the catch. It's an easy tag and move to third for Flores. The runners on the corners now with 2 down.
Yeah, you saw what that wind's going to do to it. That ball started out nearly straightaway center field and really tailed away and able to run it down. But see if you can come up with a big 2-out hit right here. You're going to be good offensively as a team. Got to find a way to get those big hits, and you can really, set the tone for this ball game with a 2-out hit right here.
Schloss talked about it in the pregame, saying that saw a couple of those opportunities go by the boards last night. So Tommy Farmer, the 4th, has the opportunity here, and he looks at the first pitch for a strike. Tommy was 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored last night. Farmer, a 6'3", 208-pound sophomore right-handed hitter, Oaks Christian in Santa Monica, California. Looks at that pitch inside, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Jalen Flores at third base, Adrian Rodriguez at first. Runners on the corners, 2 down, bottom of the first, with Texas in front 1-0. Here's the stretch from the right-hander Martinez. The pitch. Swung on, and that is through down the right side, of base hit. Scoring from third base is Flores. Rodriguez will go to third, throw coming in, and the ball trickled away. So a head-first slide with an RBI hustling double for Tommy Farmer extends the Texas lead to 2-0.
Well, those are just big knocks right there. Like I said, with 2 outs, now you sort of separated yourself. Now Borba with a chance to really have a big crooked number at the bottom of the first. They can come up with another knock, but a nice job by Farmer going the other way.
2 extra base hits this inning for Texas out of their 3 hits, and now Casey Borba, who has homered in back-to-back ball games, comes to the plate now. Borba batting .353 with those 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. 2 in scoring position, 2 home, and 2 out. First pitch misses downstairs to Borba. Casey, another native Californian, now Orange Lutheran in Santa Ana, 6'1", 210-pound sophomore right-handed hitter. Martinez trying to get out of the first here. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike. And the count is even at a 1 ball and 1 strike. Borba not only has been swinging hot bats, been playing very solidly at third base. Here's the stretch from the right-hander Martinez, and the pitch is low. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Casey Borba. Lights are on here at the ballpark. An otherwise largely cloudless day. Sunny skies here. He swings here, and a little nubber off the end of the bat right to the mound, and Martinez will flip to first. 1-3 on the putout, and the Longhorns are down in the first. However, Texas hops on top. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits. They strand a pair. We're through 1 complete at UFC Dish Fog Field. It's Texas 2, Santa Clara nothing. Longhorn baseball continues in a moment.
Now staked to a 2-0 lead. Scoreboard totals are correct. No runs, a hit, no errors. For Santa Clara. For Texas, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Keith Moreland, Greg Way, glad you're with us. Wind is blowing out of the north, and it's going to cool off as the afternoon goes, but it is a gorgeous day right now.
Tate Metcalf, the designated hitter, will lead it off for Santa Clara. Metcalf batting .250, no homers. 3 runs batted in, and he'll dig in from the right side against Harrison, who needed 18 pitches to navigate that top of the first, but got out of it unscathed. Luke's first pitch is off the plate for a ball to Metcalf. Spells it Medicoff. Tate is a freshman from San Francisco at the Sacred Heart Cathedral Prep, 6'3", 220-pound right-handed hitter. Deep breath from Harrison in the pitch. Misses downstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Metcalf 1 out of 3 with a run batted in last night. Longhorns took the opener 4-2. 5 shutout innings. The starting and winning pitcher, Jared Spencer, and Max Grubbs the final 4 innings to pick up his 3rd save of the season as that pitch misses low. And Luke starting the 2nd inning as he did the 1st, behind in the count.
We know the guy behind the plate. You do this as long as you and I've done it, Craig. You sort of know who's working the plate. He is not a guy that has a big zone. It's been a small zone. It'll be that way the whole time, and it'll be that way for both sides.
Yeah.
But he's just a guy, when you look at Angel Campos, it has a smaller strike zone. I mean, that's just...
And it requires adjustment by the pitchers and by the hitters.
Yeah.
So Medikoff is aboard with a 4-pitch leadoff walk, and it brings the catcher Connor Smith to the plate. Smith batting 200, no homers. And a run batted in, and showing bunt and taking the first pitch for a strike. Connor entered the ball game as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning last night, and he was able, Smith, to deliver an RBI single right over the head of Kimball Schuessler that brought in the 2nd run for Santa Clara. It lifts a pitch foul out of play down the right field line and onto the roof of the J. Dan Brown Family Player Development Center. Great crowd again here this afternoon at UFC Disch-Falk Field. Nearly 7,300 last night, 72-92 the attendance, and it should be at least that today. 0-2 the count. Pitch. Strike 3 called. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. A 3-pitch strikeout. Connor Smith. So Luke Harrison rebounds from 4 consecutive balls outside the zone to 3 straight strikes. And with a runner at first, he now has his first out recorded, his 2nd strikeout.
He dotted the eye on that outside corner with that pitch.
1 down for the center fielder, Max Ross. Ross batting .235, no homers. The runs batted in. And for the left side, or rather, give you the numbers for Ross. I was looking at Peyton Lambert's numbers as the pitch went outside. Ross is batting .239 as a homer. 8 runs batted in. He's drawn 6 walks and been hit by a pitch 4 times this season. He's also 2 for 2, so he's a threat if he gets aboard. Lefty-lefty matchup, and the pitch is chopped on the ground foul. Pass first. Max, left-handed hitting redshirt sophomore. He's from Woodside, California. Started off at Kenyatta College, 6'2", 295 pounds. 1-1 the count. 1 aboard, 1 out, top of the 2nd. Texas leading Santa Clara 2-0. Stretch. The pitch from Harrison. That one missed upstairs for ball 2.
I got underneath that breaking ball a little bit. Sometimes you can get out of balance, get a little bit too far out in front, and you can't get on top to really get that breaking ball to break down, and that's the one that stays up. Just got out in front of it a little bit.
2 balls and a strike to count to Max Ross. The pitch from Harrison. Swung on, and this one is hit a long way of a foul, and the wind will continue to push balls that way as well as it pulled foul.
Now, the one place it'll get out of here is right down that right field line.
So the count evens at 2-2. You saw that on Tuesday night. You and Roger did with the win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi with the balls that really rocketed out to right.
Those blowing gale.
Here's the 2-2. Hit on the ground, off the mound, up with it. Flores a step on the back for 1. The relay at the first in time. It's a 6-3 double play. And as it turns out, Luke Harrison winds up facing the minimum in the 2nd. No runs, no hits, nobody left. For an inning and a half at UFC Disch-Falk Field, Texas leads Santa Clara 2-0. Longhorn baseball continues in a moment.
We go to the bottom of the 2nd, 2-0 Texas. It will be for the Longhorns 8-9-1 as they sent 7 batters to the plate in the first. A couple extra base hits, 3 total hits in the inning, turned into 2 runs. So 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd.
Longhorns forced Victor Martinez to throw 27 pitches in that bottom of the 1st inning. Easton Winfield leads it off for the Longhorns and looks at the first pitch for a called strike. Winfield batting .208, no homers, and 2 runs batted in. Easton, a sophomore transfer from Alvin down south of Houston. 6 foot, 215-pound left-handed hitter. Began his collegiate career at UL Monroe, Louisiana Monroe, and looks at a pitch for strike 2. 0-2 the count to Winfield.
They have the shift on for him right now.
Indeed, a heavy shift. And the 0-2. And that's off the plate for a ball. It worked for the Longhorns on the top of the first. The ball hit right to Mendoza, right where Malcolm Williams is playing right now. And shallow right as the second baseman. The 1-2. That's upstairs. We've seen a lot of coaches do this over the past few years. And pretty much, not 100% of the time, but pretty much they all follow the same plan. Here's the 2-2, and that's outside 3-2. And that is to swing the third baseman or second baseman to shallow right, but put the third baseman on the first base side of the bag and leave the shortstop to the third base side of the bag. The 3-2 swing and a miss, and Winfield strikes out for out number 1, and that's the second strikeout for Victor Martinez.
Well, you don't want to get weaker. So your third baseman is the third baseman. He's not a shortstop. So you want to keep your shortstop in that position and then put the third baseman in a position and allow the second baseman, who's used in the middle of the diamond, to back up. That's the right move. You know, there were times when we saw the third baseman go to that rover position.
Absolutely.
And then they figured out, well, why are we going to put a guy that more than likely is a corner infielder in a rover-type position?
One down for Ryland Galvan, who's been swinging a hot bat of late. Ryland takes a pitch. Downstairs for a ball. Galvan batting .303, 4 homers, 14 runs batted in for Ryland from down along the coastal bend near the bay, the Corpus Christi area. Out of Sinton, 6 foot, 215-pound junior right-handed hitter. Looks at a pitch inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Galvan. Ryland last night, 1 out of 2 and 2 walks, scored a run. And getting on base frequently as well. Shown a good eye at the plate. The 2-0. That's at the top of the zone for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1. That's down and in, and it's 3 balls and a strike now to Galvan.
Yeah, and now the shift is on for Ryland, but you and I both know his power, and he hits a ton of balls to right field. That's not a guy that I would be shifting on.
The 3-1. Checked his swing. He did not go, and Galvan draws a 1-out walk. Ryland is aboard with the second walk issued here by Victor Martinez, and it's back to the top of the order to Mendoza, who led off the bottom of the first with a base hit to left, stole second, and scored on Jalen Flores' double.
Left-hander up and slightly tossing in the Santa Clara bullpen.
So here is Mendoza at the plate. And the first pitch to Ethan is there for a called strike. Just some stretching and not actual throwing it down in that Bronco bullpen, but just going through the motion, getting stretched out among those guys is Tyler Alleman, who is the right-hander. That's a check swing downstairs for a ball. The count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Alleman, the right-hander, not yet actively throwing, getting stretched out. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count of Mendoza. That's down and in for ball 2. Wind is picking up and gusting. Mentioned out of the north, so be blowing out toward right. The 2-1 pitch from Martinez will be delayed as he throws over to first. Galvan, just 1 out of 3 on the base pass. Not a great threat to run, but he has been put in motion here early in the season a couple of times, 3 to be exact. So Mendoza back in the box. Galvan, a modest lead from the bag at first, and this is hit on the ground. Foul. Just cut right in front of the bag. The count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's been really difficult on the Longhorn hitters to stay back. I mean, Off-speed. What makes an off-speed so tough is when the pitcher has great arm speed with it, because you think it's going to come harder because his arm is coming fast, but the ball comes out like it's got a parachute on it, and you're out in front of it.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Mendoza. Martinez, the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, that's lined in the left center, a base hit. Galvan making the turnaround second, didn't hesitate for a moment. He'll move to third on the single. Mendoza, another one of those multi-hit games, and the runner's on the corners with 1 out.
They stayed back, got one up in the zone, and boy, he put a really good swing on it. First one he was a C&I single. This one was a rope.
There's now 7 multi-hit games for Ethan Mendoza over the last 8 games. Now Ballou will try to advance the runners. He struck out swinging his first time up. Max at the plate. Broncos a double play depth. First pitch off the plate for balls. We mentioned Max, first 11 ball games, had a base hit. Did not get a hit last night, but did reach base safely. So the streak is at 12 for reaching base safely for Ballou. The 1-0. That's there for a strike. The count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Martinez trying to work around some 1-out trouble here. That pitch misses outside. 2-1 to Max Ballou. Tough spot for Martinez here with a hitter like Ballou at the plate.
Well, he's got the meat of the order here, and the base runners all over the place. So it's a big moment right here. Texas can blow this thing open.
2-1, and that floats away for ball 3, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Of course, from the department of picking your poison, if he walks Ballou, you've got Flores at the plate with the bases loaded.
That's why you got them stacked up together.
Yeah. It is a right-handed hitter on deck, but still. The 3-1. And that bounces in the field turf, and no advancement other than the fact that it's ball 4 that allows Mendoza to reach second. Ball did not get far enough away to allow Galvan to score from third, but now the bases are loaded with 1 out for Ballou. Or excuse me, for Jalen Flores.
Flores got one of those off-speed pitches up, ripped it to left field for a double. Big chance here, and I think we'll see some activity in the bullpen for real here soon, as there is a visit to the mound here.
And a migration down to the pen, as well as R.J. Mine, a right-hander, heads down, and others as well. Rusty Filter, the head coach, as we told you, a long time assistant coach there at Stanford, and handled the pitchers for Mark Marquis, and he makes all the mound visits, whether he's going to make a change or not. He's the one out there visiting with his pitchers. And so Rusty out there visiting right now with Victor Martinez, as the Longhorns have the bases loaded with 1 out here in the bottom of the second and already up 2-0. Starting to stretch in a hurry is R.J. Mine.
Yeah, this is an extended visit. I mean, I've known Rusty a long time, so have you, and remember his days still. He is not a guy that puts up with walks. I mean, he wants you to swing the bat, make good pitches. That's the third walk issued here in an inning and a third.
Yeah, he's wanting strike throwers. So now Flores, who had the RBI double and scored last inning on Farmer's double, has strike 1 delivered. Third base, Rylan Galvan. At second, Ethan Mendoza. At first, Max Ballou. Bases loaded for Texas. Bottom of the second with a 2-0 lead. The pitch. And that's a strike. Well placed by Martinez, who's quickly ahead of Flores. 0-2.
Contact, got to put it in play here.
No balls, 2 strikes to count. Here's the 0-2, and that's upstairs. 1-2 the count.
Changed eye levels that time with the fastball. See if he goes back to something off speed, trying to get something away, get Flores out on his front foot, and maybe roll it over.
The stretch from the right-hander Martinez. The 1-2. Hit in the air. That's going to curve foul out of play. All the way out of the park onto Comal Street. Count still a ball and 2 strikes to Jalen Flores.
Fly balls to right, center, and right are going to be interesting all day long.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Martinez ready. Here's the pitch. And this is hit on the ground. And a flip to second. And no, pulled off the back. The run scores, all hands safe. Malcolm Williams throwback to Ben Cleary to try to get Ballou. Pulled Cleary off the back. And so on the fielder's choice, all hands safe. The Longhorns now lead at 3-0.
I would think there will be an error issued on the throw, but it is a fielder's choice. You're right about that. I think to get to second base, it's got to be a miscue.
So
let's see how they scored, but great. This chance to blow this thing open right here.
now Rodriguez at the plate. He walked last inning, looks at the pitch downstairs. It is a fielder's choice and an E4. An RBI for Jalen Flores. And Longhorns now leading 3-0. That pitch is in there for a strike. So Blue stands at second base because of the error. Mendoza's at third. Jalen Flores on that fielder's choice at first. This pitch hit well down the left field line if it stays fair, and it doesn't. Boy, and with the way the wind's blowing, you knew that had to be a screaming liner down the line to left.
Yeah, it was knocking it down because it's stronger with each minute. Now it's going from left field corner to right field corner. It's really pushing that ball down. But it'll help something going to right.
So the count is a ball and 2 strikes to Adrian Rodriguez. 3-0 Longhorn lead. They have 4 hits in the ball game. Santa Clara, no runs, a hit, and they just committed the error on the fielder's choice that allowed Ballou to reach second base. Here's the pitch. Popped up. This will be infield fly in effect as 3 infielders converge on it. It's Williams, the second baseman, who makes the catch on the infield fly, and it's out number 2.
It was not an easy play, but the one thing that you did know, and you saw both coaches on both first and third telling their players, you can't advance, don't advance, because the instinct is if you see a ball like that drop, it's to take off. You got to know that the batter is out already.
So with 2 down, here's Kimball Schusler, who flied to center his first time up. Kimball, right-handed hitting grad student from Llano, out in Llano County, an hour to the west of us. Of course, began his collegiate career at Texas A&M. 6'2", 215-pound grad student. First pitch bounces in the field turf, and a nice stop by the catcher, Connor Smith, to keep it from getting away from him.
Second inning in a row, Texas has got a chance to really expand.
Here's the pitch. That one again in the field turf. Again, it trickles a few feet away, this time up the first base side. And Smith able to retrieve it.
Important pitch right here, Craig. 2-0, bases loaded, 2 outs.
There's the set for Martinez and the pitch. Outside.
Now you got to take. Maybe even 2.
Yeah. 3-0 the count to Schusler. Ethan Mendoza at third base. Max Blue at second. Jalen Flores at first. Bases loaded for Texas. A run home, 2 down here in the bottom of the second. The 3-0 taken all the way, and it is a strike, and it's 3-1 to Schusler.
And this is zone out hitting. Kimball likes the ball out over the plate. He hits the ball hard the other way. This is a good time to look for a ball out over the plate that you can stay inside of and drive the other way.
The 3-1 for Martinez. Swung on and the ball hit well to center, but right at the center fielder, Max Ross. He'll make the catch, and that'll retire the Longhorns in the second. Texas tacks on a run, and they do it with a hit, an error, and they leave them loaded. We're through 2 completes here at UFC Dish-Falk Field. The score is Texas 3, Santa Clara nothing. Longhorn baseball continues
in the first inning, and then in the second inning, they left them loaded. So 5 runners left on base for Texas, but 3 across on the board. And it will be the 8 and 9 and 1 spots due for Santa Clara here in the top of the third.
Luke Harrison had a very economical second inning to get his pitch count back on track at 30 pitches through 2 frames. Now the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Broncos. The right fielder Peyton Lambert leads it off. Lambert a .235 average, no homers, no runs batted in, and looks at the first pitch sailing high and away for ball 1 to Peyton. Sophomore from Pendleton, Oregon, 6 foot, 180-pound right-handed hitter. He had 1 at bat last night, struck out against Jared Spencer, and then was replaced in right field by Luke Devine as he looks at a pitch for ball 2.
We didn't have a cloud in the sky earlier, just, 20 minutes ago?
Right.
Now it's totally overcast.
I said largely cloudless at the time. It was. Now there's largely no sun to speak of.
Yeah, it's blown in here.
Here's the 2-0 delivery. That's low, and Harrison has kind of ridden the roller coaster a little bit here early on, from heavy pitch counts and getting behind to getting some quick pitch outs. So 3-0 the count to Peyton Lambert. And Harrison dials in and delivers a strike. It's 3-1. Lambert, one of 2 or 3 guys you could see throughout the course of the weekend play in right field. Like we said, we saw Luke Devine last night as well. The 3-1, and that's there at the knees. The count is full, 3-2. Coach is still trying to, everywhere, including Texas, across the country, still trying to really nail down their everyday lineups as well as their pitching alignment. This pitch is lifted foul out of play on the first base side. It arrives in a hurry for Texas next week.
Yeah, you're a month in, basically a month of baseball. You can find your, what I call everyday guys, the 8 guys that go out there and play a position. Those are usually get to it after this pitch.
3 balls, 2 strikes to count to Lambert, and the payoff, and that's fouled out of the way.
Those guys usually, they're playing enough that you know, all right, this guy's going to play here. If I want to rest this guy, I can play this guy at this position. But usually it still takes a while to figure out what pattern you're going to use the guys coming out of the bullpen.
Another 3-ball, 2-strike pitch from Luke Harrison to Peyton Lambert. And he, again, lines it foul. A nice catch by a fan with a glove, snagging that one down the right field line. That's why you bring a glove to the ballpark.
That's it. That's it. You know, you get yourself in position to be a starter or a starting pitcher, and if you're successful, you're going to get the ball.
Yet another 3-2 pitch to Lambert. And he checked his swing. He went around, and Lambert strikes out. So a nice recovery for Harrison after falling behind 3-0. 3 consecutive pitches fouled off on 3-2, and he comes back to get him on a check swing that he couldn't hold up.
Yeah, he went to an off-speed pitch. It wasn't a strike, but the speed fooled him and had the hitter out in front.
3rd strikeout for Luke Harrison. Here's Nico Olson, the 3rd baseman. Olson batting .267, no homers, no runs batted in. First pitch is off the plate for a ball. Olson. From the right side against the left-hander. Pitches downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes to Nico. Richard, freshman from Brentwood, California. Clayton Valley Charter, 6 foot, 165-pound right-handed hitter. Here's the 2-0 delivery from Luke Harrison. That's in there for a called strike. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Olson. Wind ruffling the jersey of the pitcher. Harrison delivers outside for ball 3. And again, having a fight from behind in the count. It's 3 balls and a strike now.
Sometimes it's hard to keep your balance, too, when your pitching would win like this.
3 balls and a strike to count. 3-1. And that's inside for ball 4. Second walk issued by Harrison. It's back to the top of the order to Mateo Garcia, who grounded the second his first time up.
quite as sharp because usually very good strike thrower. And again, no excuses, but you have a guy behind the plate, good umpire, but he's got a small zone.
Like we said, both as the hitters, easier adjustment for the hitters with a smaller zone.
Oh, yeah, much easier.
And the pitchers have to make the adjustment. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a strike to Garcia. He back off speed the first pitch.
A little modified shift here.
We do. With Borba still in front. This ball's hit in the air to center. It's playable there for Farmer to make the catch for the second out of the inning.
We squared it up. That wind just held it straight up. I don't believe Tommy Farmer had to make a move out of his position. He just stayed right where he raised up and made the catch.
2 down. Ben Cleary had a single in the first, and Ben now has a 19-game streak of reaching base safely dating back to May 10th of last season at home against Loyola Marymount. 19 consecutive games for Cleary to reach base for the Broncos. Throw over to first. Speaking of Loyola Marymount, they're out of the West Coast Conference along with Santa Clara, of course. And they're 100 miles to the north of us playing Baylor this weekend.
Well, when I came through this morning, coming back from Big D, it was overcast and some moisture on the ground up there.
There's the stretch. Harrison a glance over to first, and he'll step and throw. Lions of LMU. Baylor won that game last night by a score of 9-4 at the Baylor ballpark.
It's a much improved baseball team.
Yeah, we figured Mitch Thompson would start to get things turned up there in Waco, and it looks like he's doing that. Now comes the first pitch to Ben Cleary, and he'll take it for a strike. Big 12 looked at as being a little more wide open this year. TCU may be the favorite there along with Oklahoma State, but both have had some struggles early. Pitch is fouled at the
Red Raiders have been struggling.
Boy, have they. And Oklahoma State's had some uneven moments along with some nice wins. Same for TCU.
West Virginia's off to a good start.
Yeah, they are playing well. 0-2 the count. The 0-2 to Cleary, and he'll take outside. Well, we know how it is with the Mountaineers. You know, they're going to start in the sunny climes.
They do.
Many of those in Myrtle Beach or down in Florida. That's how it is. New era now with Randy Mazie having retired. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Cleary. And the 1-2. Downstairs.
That's a good take. That's a pretty good pitch right there with 2 strikes, change up, turn it over a little bit, get it go down and away, and just laid off of it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Harrison ready with a 2-2 pitch to Ben Cleary. Fouled away.
Speed him up, slow him down. They came back with a fastball that time, and he's tardy on it. So now as a hitter, you're thinking, well, I got to turn it up a little bit. See if he doesn't come back something slower or off speed away from him.
Another 2-2, and it hit him. That one just got away from Luke and came in. And Cleary is aboard, so the runners at first and second with 2 down for Malcolm Williams. So Harrison just had that one.
Yeah, it's a breaking ball.
Yeah.
Tried to run a slider in on his inside and got away from him, caught him in that pad that these hitters wear now. It's still, you feel it, but it's not like it would be if you didn't have that pad on, and that's going to prompt a visit. They've had 4 base runners, Craig, and 3 of the 4 are free passes.
Well, it's pretty much a one-way conversation with Max Wiener, the pitching coach, and Luke Harrison. He's not looking at the other fielders. He's making his point with Luke about needing to throw strikes here. And
this is extended a little bit here, too.
Pitchers to a man have said how much they enjoy working with Max. What a job he's done with this group. So now ready to go back to the dugout. First visit marked down by the home plate umpire, Angel Campos. So with 2 down and 2 aboard, Malcolm Williams, who grounded to second. remember that was the one into shallow right that Mendoza played. And right now, Longhorns playing straight away, and the first pitch misses downstairs for a ball. Harrison ready with the 1-0 delivery to Williams. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Creating your own mess here. That's the other part of the thing. When you go out and talk to them and say, look, they haven't hit you. You're giving them these base runners, and now if they get a hit, it's going to turn into runs.
2-0 the count to Williams. The 2-0. That one's in for a strike. Well, we talked about Luke being brave enough to throw that 2-0 breaking ball.
Yeah, it was a good one.
2 balls and a strike, the count of Malcolm Williams with 2 on and 2 out. The pitch from Harrison. Swing and a miss. Way out front of that one was Harrison, and was Williams. And Harrison now has even it at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now we got a time. We got paper coming across the end in front of the pitcher. They're going to let it, make sure it gets out of the way. They'll reset the pitch clock, and we'll go again.
I think it's a napkin.
Well,
they'll retrieve it, get it out of play.
It's howling.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Jammed him, and he popped it foul. Back into the upper grandstand. So Harrison will try it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's the 2-2 delivery. That is just off the plate. The count is full now, and everybody will be in motion here.
Huge advantage, but the outfield is shallow as it is. With the runner in motion, it's going to lead to a run on a base hit.
Runners off on a 3-ball, 2-strike pitch to Malcolm Williams. Swing and a miss. Harrison with a big strikeout to get out of trouble in the 3rd and come away unscathed. No runs, no hits, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 3-0 Texas. Longhorn baseball continues in a moment.
But have no runs on a hit, have committed a miscue. 6, 7, and 8 due here for Texas in the bottom of the 3rd.
Tommy Farmer had an RBI double to score Jalen Flores, whose RBI double had scored Ethan Mendoza back in the 2-run first. So Farmer to the plate now. He's largely been playing left field, but in center field today. And last year, Tommy, in his freshman season, played both center and left. Victor Martinez back out there, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike, as Martinez delivers his 62nd pitch of the ballgame. That wind really howling out to right now. Pitch is low. Ball and a strike the count. We may see a lot more than just one napkin blown onto the field today.
There's some things stirring.
1 ball and 1 strike the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Out front of that one was Farmer as the bottom dropped out of it. 1-2. When you were playing in your big league career.
Candlestick. Oh, you were going.
I was starting to say, windiest ballpark had to be Candlestick, right?
Candlestick, no doubt.
Ball and 2 strikes to count. Here's the 1-2 pitch down the field.
Out on a point on San Francisco Bay. And Willie Mays hit 600 home runs there. Every time I would go there, I would shake my head and go, he's the greatest player that ever lived. He'd have played any place else but here.
Yeah. I still think he was the greatest of all time. And this is coming from a dyed-in-the-wool Dodger fan. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and the ball hit well out toward left, but the wind will knock this thing down in foul territory. So 2-2 remains the count. He would, at least is mentioned in the upper tier and upper echelon as he, kind of invented the term 5-tool.
Oh, yeah. Well, he would. Oh, tremendous. He is. top 2 or 3 players that ever played the game. There's no doubt, but he didn't play in a ballpark that was conducive to being a great offensive player, and he was a great offensive player. He's a great defensive player too.
He was. And played those first several seasons in the narrow confines of the Polo Grounds in New York, where you had the short porch to left, but it was 483 feet to dead center.
And made one of the greatest catches in the history of the sport.
Yeah, it took that from the Holland Vic Wertz's drive, game 1 of the 1954 World Series. The 2-2. Downstairs, and the count was full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Okay, so Candlestick was windy, no doubt about it. I used to watch it. You spent, what, 7, 8 seasons with the Cubs?
Yes.
Okay. And
it's bad there, too.
Here's the 3-2. Swung on, and a ground ball through on the left side, a base hit. Farmer got it right between third and short. Tommy's 2 for 2 today. He's aboard with a lead single.
See guys moving around defensively right now, and 2 caps. Well, the left fielder's cap came off, and the throw coming back into second base. The second baseman's cap came off. So it is a day where you almost got to put some things in it. This ball was ripped. I mean, they had the shift on it. It just pounded it through the shift.
So now Casey Borba at the plate. Grounded out back to the box. Back in the first inning. Martinez, throw over to first. Farmer 3 out of 5 on the base paths. And Tommy had that 3rd stolen base of the season last night. Here's the stretch. Another throw over to first.
Just one more story about Wynn and Candlestick.
Yeah.
I was catching, and we brought a reliever in named Warren Brewster, who was a good reliever for us in Philadelphia when I was with the Phillies. And his cap flew off and never touched the ground, never got above 10 feet, and stuck to the center field wall. I tell you, that's how hard it was blowing.
Here's the pitch that missed inside.
It took everybody. 2 guys tried to get it while it was still floating in the air, and our center fielder had to go get it off of the wall.
The count is a ball and no strikes to Casey Borba. Farmer leads from first. The pitch down and in ball 2. Obviously the most famous of those stories is, for the old timers who may remember this, fortunately I can say I was barely alive and did not know of it at the time, but Stu Miller blown off the mound in the 1961 All-Star game, called for a balk, blown off by the wind. Pitch is taken downstairs and is now 3-0. I was starting to say, when you played at Wrigley Field, and of course it's the Windy City, Chicago, I always remember seeing some of those daytime ball games on WGN, and you'd see all kinds of hot dog wrappers and things like that littering the field. The 3-0, a strike.
You had to ignore that because it was going to be there. Especially those late at bats when the stances, if you were winning or losing, people started to leave. And
those wrappers were flying. Off from first is Farmer. The pitch is a strike. The throw right on the money, and Farmer is out at second base. What a throw by the catcher, Connor Smith. And just like that.
That's a heck of a tag, too, by Malcolm Williams on the other end. He had to pick a short hop and make the tag all in one motion. That was a really nice play. As the throw comes out in a hurry, Smith gets rid of it. Nice pick. He picks that short hop and gets the tag on him.
The 3-2 now to Borba is downstairs for ball 4. So Casey reaches first base after Farmer was caught stealing. 2-4 if you're scoring. So Borba draws the 4th walk issued by Martinez. And Rusty Filter back to the mound.
I think he's going to make a move here.
He's had a couple of different guys warming up, and there will be a call to the bullpen. So our first call to the bullpen pitching change break here
in the Broncos, and it's R.J. Mine. who comes into the game. He's been used a lot. He's a 6 foot, 180-pound freshman in San Ramon, California. And he is making, Craig, his 6th appearance. That leads Santa Clara in appearances, 1-0 record, 5.40 earned run average. He's pitched 5 innings, allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned. Hasn't walked a batter, struck out 4. He has surrendered 2 extra base hits, including a homer, as he has thrown a wild pitch, and he comes on here as Santa Clara has to go to the bullpen in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Texas leading 3-0.
So R.J. Mine, who spells it M-E-Y-N, but pronounced mine like yours and mine, is on for the Broncos. Left-hander slings it in, and he'll face the left-handed hitting. Actually, he's going to face Will Gasparino, who's come out of the dugout now to bat for Easton Winfield. I imagine we'll see Tommy Farmer move from center field to left, and Will go into center field when the Longhorns go back out into the field in the top of the 4th inning. So Gasparino, who did not start the ball game, now comes in to bat for Easton Winfield. The right-handed hitting Gasparino facing the left-hander R.J. Mine. Will, for the season, is batting .208, 4 homers, 14 runs batted in for Gasparino, a sophomore right-handed hitter out of Harvard Westlake High School in the Los Angeles area at 6'6" and 225 pounds. So Gasparino facing the left-hander Mine. And right away, a throw over to first to keep Borba close.
I think that's a balk.
And that's exactly what's been called. Rusty Filter asking for the explanation on it. The home plate umpire, Angel Campos, telling him, do not come over to argue the balk. And he's saying to go back. And he said, I'm just checking on what it was.
Well, it's what he's saying. You need to tell my pitcher what he did wrong.
Yeah.
So that's the way you get away when we come out to say something, because you can't argue that call.
So, was a balk, and that advances Borba in the scoring position at second base here with 1 out. So Gasparino at the plate takes the pitch for a strike. Here's the 0-1. That's downstairs. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mine works from that extreme third base side of the rubber, and Gasparino drives one. This is going to tail away from the outfielders and go into the corner. Easily scoring. Coming in to score will be Borba. Gasparino, pinch hit RBI double to the gap, and the Longhorns now lead 4-0.
I stayed inside of that one. Boy, he rifled it into right center. This ball short hops the wall in right center. You see his power the other way. Boy, extra base hits turning into runs.
3rd double of the ball game for Texas. 2 in the first, now 1 in the 3rd. And Rylan Galvan to the plate. He walked and scored his first time up last inning. So Gasparino immediately contributes with the RBI double. 6th hit of the ball game for Texas. A 4-0 lead for the Longhorns. Mine working to Galvan. The first pitch off the plate for ball 1.
I think that's Will's 15th RBI of the year.
It is. Club. And for Gasparino, not only his 15th RBI, that's his 3rd double to go with 2 triples and 4 homers. So he's had 9 extra base hits. Out of his 11, 9 have been extra base hits. The 2-0. That's a strike on the inside corner to Galvan. 2 balls and a strike to Ryder. The left-hander, R.J. Mine. From the belt, the pitch. Swung on and a ball hit sky high. The wind will keep this in play and unable to make the play, however, was the third baseman Olsen. Normally, that's a ball that lands up on the concourse, or as Keith likes to call it, the midway over there, but the wind kind of kept it.
Oh, it did.
Within striking distance.
And it was bringing it back to the field of play, and Fan did a good job there. I mean, you're not supposed to reach for it, but there was contact right there, and Fan might have saved an out. It's one of those that you get a break.
And it's also a little bit more difficult to judge that because it's a low wall,
a
low barrier, as opposed to where you can see it clearly on the higher wall if a fan is reaching directly over the wall. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Galvan. Hines pitch. Swung on in a high fly ball, hit the center, drifting back. Ross, now he has to drift over to the right as the wind pushes that way. Tagging at second is Gasparino. He'll move to third. They're 2 down, and Will moves to third base on the Galvan fly ball to center.
That ball was hit pretty well, too. It tells you a little bit what this breeze is doing.
Back to the top of the order to Ethan Mendoza. Mendoza 2 for 2. He has 2 base hits, stolen base, and a run scored. Hine trying to get out of this one, works from that third base side of the rubber and delivers a first pitch, breaking ball for a strike. From the stretch, the 0-1 outside, leaving the count of 1 ball, 1 strike. RJ Mine, the left-hander, delivers, and that's strike 2 call to the knees. 1-2 the count to Mendoza. Gasparino with the RBI double, standing at third base. Longhorns have scored in each at bat so far. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 here in the third. That pitch misses down and in, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 the count. Fine with the 2-2. Just catching a piece of it is Mendoza to keep the at-bat alive. Book now closed on Victor Martinez. He went 2 in the third innings. Allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He threw 69 pitches. Actually, he threw 75 pitches. 75 pitches thrown by Martinez. And now into the bullpen. The Longhorns have gotten into the bullpen in the middle innings as they did last night. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and the ball hit out toward the left. It's being pushed toward left center, but closing on it was Mateo Garcia to make the catch and retire Texas in the third. Longhorns had a run. They do it on 2 hits with a runner left. Through 3 complete here in the middle game of the 3-game weekend series. It is Texas 4, Santa Clara nothing. Longhorn baseball continues in a moment.
We go to the 4th, third of the game in the books, 4-0 Texas. Texas has scored in every frame, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Have had an opportunity to really blow this thing open, but still a 4-0 lead. 4-6-0 for Texas. 0-1-1 for Santa Clara.
As we thought, Will Gasparino remains in the ballgame in center field, and Tommy Farmer, the 4th, moves over from center field to left field. All right, it's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Santa Clara. Dylan Joyce, who's had 5 at-bats in the series so far, and all 5 have been swinging strikeouts. As he comes to the plate to face Luke Harrison, and the first pitch is off the plate. All right, every Saturday during Longhorn baseball season here at UFC Dish Field, on the here at the Dish, are what they like to call the traditions here, where they honor a former Longhorn great, and we have one with us right now as that pitch misses outside. So glad to have Calvin Giraldi join us, the former Longhorn All-American, most outstanding player in the 1983 College World Series, lifetime Longhorn, and of course, a long and decorated Major League career as well, as that pitch misses outside for a ball, and it's 3-0. It's great to see you again, Calvin. How are you?
I'm doing great, Thanks for having me up here.
You bet. And 3-0 the count to Dylan Joyce. I'm going to start off with something, then we'll talk about some of the memories you have here. First, a 3-0 pitch coming to Joyce, and he is aboard with a 4-pitch walk. Did you like pitching on windy days?
I love pitching on windy days. Back then, the fence was further back and all that, so it's like throw it in there and see how far they can hit it.
Good point.
Yeah, because when he and I both played in this building, it was a lot bigger than it is today.
That's true enough. So Joyce draws the leadoff walk. The walk is the second one issued by Luke Harrison. Quick conversation on the mound. Galvan talking to him. That's another thing too. Some pitchers, they didn't mind him with the catcher went out and go on talk. How did you feel about that? If you issued a leadoff walk, you knew what you were doing. You just missed the spot, and the guy comes out to visit with you.
Leave me alone. I'm good. I know I screwed up. I'm all right.
Here's Medikoff at the plate, and he drew a walk his first time up.
Well, Calvin, I see you with a brace on. Talk to us about what you got going on. I didn't know you were wearing a brace.
Coaching first base is dangerous. An errant throw. I tried to dance myself out of the way of it and didn't quite work out for me.
I understand.
A ball and a strike to count to Medikoff. There's the stretch and pitch from Harrison.
Not quite as nimble as we used to be.
Oh, getting old sucks.
Back in the younger days, Calvin led the Longhorns to 3 straight appearances in the College World Series, including that 1983 National Championship, the 4th title in program history at the time. Now, of course, they've won 6. Here's a pitch. That's just off the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. You pitched in 7 games as a freshman. Did you know, even back then, having pitched in 7 ball games, what was there for you and what could be there for you if you could harness everything as that pitch is fouled back that was there as part of your skill set?
As an 18-year-old, probably not. It's like you're waiting for an opportunity, you do well, and then you get seniors and stuff keep going. It wasn't until my sophomore year that it kind of clicked in for me.
Here's the pitch to Medikoff. He swings here and hits a ball well. This one out toward left, and even the wind will just knock it down to the wall. It'll be a throw back into the infield of Flores. On most any other day, that's going to be out of the ballpark, Keith. That's a double off the wall, and the runner's at second and third with nobody out.
Well, that ball might have landed in Georgetown any other day because it was absolutely smoked, and the wind did knock it down, but he got it all the way to the wall. Harrison again struggling, and I'm going to go to Calvin on this. When you pitch from behind, you put yourself in such a bind that you have to come in the middle of the zone.
You have to throw it down the middle. You got to work ahead. Working ahead is success.
Connor Smith at the plate. He struck out looking against Harrison his first time up. There's some movement around in the Texas bullpen. And Harrison trying to work through this, and now there's some throwing going on down there as well.
This will be a visit that they will write down as he walks out. Now, the other thing that was part of unique for you, this is your hometown. I mean, you were raised here, get an opportunity to play here. Was there any more, did you feel any more pressure because you've probably seen this place, been to this place many times as a kid, and then all of a sudden now you're pitching here?
I don't think so, because I grew up loving the University of Texas baseball, and that's what I wanted to do. So it was like I knew I was going to be here, and so that was my plan, and worked out pretty well.
You've seen this town change, haven't you?
God, this is ridiculous. I don't even recognize this place anymore.
Jim Schlossnagel's made a call to bullpen. We're going to keep it here as we visit with Calvin Giraldi here. It'll be Ruger Riojas who will come out of the Texas bullpen, and right now, done after a total of 68 pitches is Luke Harrison. So Ruger Riojas will come on to pitch for Texas. I mentioned your freshman year when you saw action 7 games. You said you started to figure it out your next year. I'll say 13-2, a 3.23 earned run average as a sophomore, and then the All-American Junior campaign, 12-2, a 1.86 ERA and 101 strikeouts during the regular season, and earned the most outstanding player honors, 2-0 with an 0.63 ERA in the NCAA tournament. What stands out to you the most about that 1983 national championship season.
The thing that I was thinking about this not too long ago, we played 80 games that year, and our pitching staff, we had 40 complete games. That's what I remember about it. You don't see that
anymore. Play
anymore.
that many games in a college season, which is, that's when they started limited. After that's when they started limited the number of games you can play in a year.
Well, I think Coach Gus had it figured out because they only counted spring break as one day.
Yeah,
and so we played 19 games in 10 days.
And in those days, also to be fair, you guys could also play games that in this day and age, a Division I program wouldn't play because it'd be an RPI killer. If you were to play a St. Mary's or even when Grand Canyon was a Division II school.
And Calvin will tell you, we had no off days.
Right.
There was none.
And they had lights here, so the other thing is that with lights you could work out after.
From 1 until Coach Gus got tired.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, Ruger Riojas steps in. Ruger comes on with a 2-0 record and a 4.66 ERA, making his 6th appearance of the season. He's worked 9 2/3 innings, allowed 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He's walked 1, struck out 11, given up just 1 extra base hit, a double. He's hit 1 batter and had 1 wild pitch. Opposing hitters batting .237 against Riojas. Ruger, of course, transferred in from UTSA. He's from Wimberley, 6 foot, 192-pound junior right-handed pitcher.
Now, you've done this as a starter and a reliever. What is the difference in the mindset when you come in as a reliever here?
Relievers to try to limit right now, to 1 run. And get an out right now, and go from there.
Yeah. Throwing strikes.
You got to throw strikes.
Relievers have got to throw strikes.
Ruger has that fastball in the mid-90s regularly. And the first pitch to Connor Smith is outside for a ball. Also has the slider in the mid-80s, the curveball, and a split. So it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. And there are 2 runners in scoring position for Santa Clara. That pitch is fouled back to the screen. If we remove the fastball from the equation, what was your favorite pitch to throw?
Slider. Without a doubt.
And it commanded that.
He had a good overhand curveball, too. I faced it.
1 ball and 1 strike to count to Connor Smith, the 1-1. And this is hit on the ground. It'll get a run home, but as Calvin mentioned, they'll get an out. Throw to first by Flores to retire Connor Smith. An RBI ground out gets Santa Clara on the board. Medikoff moves to third. Joyce scores, and it's now a 4-1 ball game. So, as a pitcher at this point, you figure, okay, I got the first out, right? And then you're trying to dial in and see if you limit the damage only to a run.
Don't try to. I'm going for a punch out right here.
Here's Max Ross, who hit into an inning-ending 6-3 double play his last time up. And Riojas ready. And this is a little number off the end of the bat. Looks like he'll get an out without.
There you go.
Without a run scoring. Nice job by Riojas fielding his position. You were a pretty good fielding pitcher, right?
I was okay. My fielding percentages were good. Not that I bounced off like Maddox or anything, but
I guarantee he played for Coach Gus. He knew how to cover first base.
we could cover first base. That is for sure.
2 down.
I know he was going to cover first base.
Peyton Lambert struck out swinging against Harrison his first time up. Now facing Ruger Riojas. With 2 down and a run home here for the Broncos. Top of the 4th, swing and a miss, strike 1. Ruger will throw that slider in addition to a fastball. As we mentioned, has to change as well. Stretch from Riojas at 0-1. According to that's in for a ball. Of course, everybody knows how you and Roger Clemens teamed up on that 83 staff, but you had other guys too that made a big difference.
Yeah, we had Mike Capel was there, made it to the big leagues, and we had some freshmen that Wade Phillips and Steve LeBay.
1-1 pitch outside.
We had a really good staff that year. I mean, we had 4 12-game winners. Kirk Killingsworth.
12 games. I mean, 4 different ones. That's playing a lot of ball games.
2 balls and a strike to count of Peyton Lambert with 2 down. Riojas ready. And the pitch. Swung on ground ball, hit the third. Up with it. Borba. Throw across the diamond. Damage.
Great job.
Limited. Just like Calvin Giraldi would have done. Hey, we appreciate you dropping by.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Good to see you.
Good
Calvin Giraldi being honored part of the traditions here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field. A run on a hit and a runner left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Texas leads Santa Clara 4-1.
And find a way, second and third, one out. Did a nice job, did Riojas of coming in and getting 2 outs. A run did score, but
no, you were right. You had it right the first time. It was second. There was a walk and a double.
That's what I thought.
And then Ruger Riojas, you're right, did it exactly the right thing. Gave up an RBI ground out, but then got a comebacker and was able to get out of it on a ground ball to third. So damage limited to the 1 run for Santa Clara. And the Longhorns come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth with a 4-1 lead. R.J. Mine still the pitcher for the Broncos, and Ballou squaring the bunt, and that one kind of whistled in on him. He thought it hit him, and in fact, I think the umpires and Jim Schlossnagle are going to challenge it. I think he's asking those guys to. They looked over to the dugout, and Ballou, who would much rather hit the ball, he'd rather swing the bat, but he's pretty convinced that the ball might have caught the rippling of the jersey.
Something of his body. I didn't see anything flash, but this is a challenge. They can use one of your reviews to take a look at this, and this is one of them that should be something we can see.
So they will they'll take a look at this right now. The call was that he was not hit by the pitch, but Max Ballou was pretty convinced that that was the case, that he was hit. And so they'll review this right now with Texas up 4-1 as Ballou the leadoff batter. Keith, you get a look at it here in full speed, now in slow motion.
Well, if it caught a piece of his left knee,
yeah,
I didn't see it really ricochet from there. It would be his back knee. Might
have just ticked off of the jersey or the pant leg.
But you just can't. The one view we got to see on the replay, I didn't see enough evidence to say yes on that. This is taking a little while to take a look at.
So the umpiring crew will continue to do that. Hey, want to remind you, of course, tomorrow, finale of the 3-game weekend series. 1 o'clock first pitch, 12:45 airtime.
Turn your clocks forward.
Oh, yeah. Better set those clocks forward. In addition to the fact that it's a 30-game SEC schedule, which moves up quick on everybody. Daylight saving time has moved up very quickly on everybody.
Yes.
So set those clocks forward by 1 hour tonight. And here come the umpires. And that call will, it hit him. It hit him. And sure enough, I would think Max would not really point that out unless he was convinced of it, because he loves to swing the bat, but he'll take first base, and that's he's already extended his streak now to 13 games, reaching base safely from the start. Now he's aboard, hit by a pitch. So
Texas has scored in every frame, Craig, in the ball game, so good start here with a leadoff base runner.
Jalen Flores has driven in 2 of the 4 Texas runs, an RBI double with a run scored in the first, and a fielder's choice ground ball that got a run home, and there was an error on the play as well that kept the inning going, and the pitch missed upstairs for a ball to Flores. Blue, 2 out of 3 on the base pass, was looking into the dugout. Now will draw a modest lead, now edging a little further away from the bag. Here's the pitch to Flores, and he'll look at the breaking ball for a strike. One ball, 1 strike to count. R.J. Mine, the left-hander, and that pitch in off the shoe tops for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Jalen Flores. Two and 1 the count. And the pitch to Flores. outside, ball 3. Well, mine has worked inside from the start of this inning.
Yeah. Good pitch to hit right here. He's not going to overpower you with velocity, so you got to see ball, stay through the middle of the field.
And he does foul that into the screen.
I like
for
that.
strike 2.
You could tell he was staying in the middle of the diamond right there. Can't get pull conscious when the guy's not going to overpower you.
So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. So with a full count, Flores digs back in. Here's the payoff pitch from R.J. Mine. And that's outside, ball 4. Hit batter followed by walk. Last night, Bronco pitchers walked 8 Longhorn hitters. They struck out 8, but they walked 8 as well. And today,
it's killing them today too.
Yeah, they have a total of.
They've walked 1 in every frame, and this one they've hit a batter and walked 1.
Yep, and so they've walked 5 batters in the ballgame collectively, and hit a batter as well. So it's 6 free passes, and here's Rodriguez. Runners go, double steal, and they will get it. How about that on the first pitch? Jim Schlossnagle on the top step of the dugout applauding his guys as Ballou takes 3rd and Flores takes 2nd.
Well, just nobody looked. Mine never came back and looked, and now we're having a meeting of the umpires. I'm not sure what we have here. They're going to review this on the play at third base. I thought Ballou was in easily.
Yeah, so did I. I'm not sure what they might be reviewing. Would it have been a pop-up and an interference type of thing?
He did do a pop-up slide, but I don't think there's no initial contact, no intent when you're popping up.
For the moment, Max Ballou is at third base. Jalen Flores is at second on a double steal. But the umpires are going to review this. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning with Texas leading Santa Clara 4-1. So we're going to look at it now, Keith, on the review.
Yeah, he's definitely safe.
And he slid behind the third base. Oh, wait.
Oh, he does come off the bag with the, his back foot gets caught with the third baseman's left foot. And Ballou may be out because he came off with the bag, and that's going to be the case.
Yep. He caught the left foot of Nico Olson and is out.
Well, Olson did a nice job keeping the tag on him.
So it goes as a caught stealing. 2-5 if you're scoring, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes to Adrian Rodriguez. So Flores credited with a steal of second, but Ballou out at third. The pitch here. And that's in there for a strike, and it's 2-1 to Rodriguez. So 2 balls and a strike to the count. R.J. Mine, the left-hander. Here's the stretch. The 2-1. It floats outside for ball 3, and it's 3-1.
Struggling with command this inning, but he has an out.
Rodriguez has walked and popped to second. Here's the stretch in the pitch, and that missed inside for ball 4. So after all is said and done, there's runners at first and second again, this time with 1 out. So it's been a hit batter and 2 walks wrapped around a caught stealing. And now Kimball Schuessler at the plate. Schuessler has flied to center and lined out to center.
You just get the feeling Texas has got to at some point take advantage of this and really put up a big number here and get real separation in this ballgame.
So Schuessler at the plate now. 1 out. Runners at first and second for Texas here in the home half of the fourth. Reverse pivot, the throw back to second, and diving back to the bag at second base is Jalen Flores. Timing play there with the second baseman Malcolm Williams coming in behind the bag. Now from the belt, the left-hander mind with a pitch, and it floats in for a strike. 73 miles an hour.
Just floated that one in there, didn't he?
It was a soap bubble. Just kind of glided in. Nothing in one, the count. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Swung on and the ball yanked foul a long way, and that one will go right to the top level of the seating down the left field line, right by the concourse. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Kimball Schuessler. So nothing in 2, the count. Kimball digs back in now.
What a new baseball.
Schuessler steps back in now with an 0-2 count. And here's the pitch. And that's fouled away.
They were running a little game at first base. Adrian Rodriguez saw it, and so did Michael Cantu. As they were coming in behind, they're going to throw to first base. Nice job of being aware. Ball was fouled off, though.
Count still 0-2 to Schuessler. The left-hander, Mine ready. Another 0-2. Swung on and a ball hit out toward left, and having to draw the bead on it is the left fielder, Garcia, as the wind was kind of blowing it around out there, but Mateo Garcia makes the catch, and they're 2 down.
Ball just jumps off the bat right now, but anything going that direction is just, this wind is howling straight in. And as you said, you got here early this morning, the wind was blowing the other way when they took BP.
That's right, it was. It changed shortly thereafter. That's why you heard Jim Schlossnagle in the pregame say, when the wind arrives, and it will, we just don't know when. Or we told it to be about 3 o'clock. It actually got here a little before then. And it has really affected, and now Farmer's hit by a pitch. So there's been a hit batter, a walk, a caught stealing, a fly out, and now another hit batter. So the Longhorns have them loaded with 2 down for Casey Borba, who walked and scored last inning. So R.J. Mine is struggling now. Borba retired on the comebacker by the starter Martinez first, then walked and scored against Martinez in the 3rd. So the bases are loaded with 2 down. The pitch to Borba. And that one breaks in for a strike. I want to text our good friend Tom Barfield, who part of the Baylor Bear baseball broadcast, asked him what the wind was like up there, and he said it's 25 miles an hour, pretty steady.
Yeah, going straight in over center up there.
Yeah, coming right off the brasses. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and a fly ball hit to center. Chasing it back. Ross can't get to it. It blows away from him. This is going to clear off the bases. Casey Borba, a bases clearing double to score 3. The Longhorns take advantage of the wind, and they now lead it 7-1.
Ball came off, and I mean, it started slicing. Ball was hit well to center. It had some thump to it. Just misplayed, and not sure he'd get to it if he turned right, but he turned the wrong direction, and then the adjustment by the time he got his head around, no chance to get to it, and there's that big blow that the Longhorns have been looking for.
So it's a 7-1 lead now for the Longhorns. Yeah, that thing just veered off like one of my drives off the tee, that slice that just tails away when I'm trying to hit it straight. RBI, bases clearing double, and boy, Gasparino was almost hit on the feet. Would have been the 3rd hit batter of the inning. So the free pass is really hurting Santa Clara throughout this series now. All three of those, 2 walks and a hit batter, come home to score. Pitch misses inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
You just can't defend the free pass. There's nothing you can do. You can't use your defense. And then all of a sudden you get a big blow, and Texas got it right there.
2-0 to Gasparino. And he takes that for a strike. Will pinch hit for Easton Winfield back in the 3rd inning, last inning, and delivered an RBI double. That pushed the Texas lead to 4-0 at the time. Santa Clara with a run in the top half of this inning, the 4th, but the Longhorns have answered with 3. And that missed inside to Gasparino. Gets 3 balls and a strike. So 3-1 the count. The 3-1. Inside ball 4. 3 walks, 2 hit batters. Wrapped around the bases clearing double by Borba. 3rd walk of the inning, and that may well be it for RJ Mine. It will be. So we will have a pitching change break. A call to the bullpen. Here in the 4th, the Longhorns have played at 3. It's Texas 7, Santa.
Big inning. Well, Casey Borba took care of that. Into right center. 3-run double. Texas now with a 7-1 lead.
Rusty Fielder likes this young man. The lanky freshman right-hander, Andrew Haberman. He did walk in an inherited runner last night, did Haberman. But he got a strikeout, or managed to get an out to get out of the 8th inning on the fly ball out after he walked Max Ballou with the bases loaded. He got a fly ball out to right to get out of the inning. He threw just 7 pitches last night. So now Haberman comes on to face Rylan Galvan, who has walked and scored and flied to center. 2nd ball game in a row. The Longhorns have 8 free passes. 8 walked last night. In fact, they had 9 free passes. There was a hit batter by Gomez, the starter last night. So they had 9 free bases. They have 8 today, counting the walks and the hit batsman. First pitch misses downstairs for a ball. So Galvan steps back in. Out of the stretch, Haberman with a 1-0. And laying off is Galvan. It's outside. 2 balls, no strikes to the count. Rylan digs back in. The pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. 2-1. Casey Borba, the 3-run bases clearing double this inning to score Jalen Flores, Adrian Rodriguez, and Tommy Farmer. Flores and Rodriguez both walked. Farmer was hit by a pitch. And Gasparino with a walk. So runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 down. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing, a miss. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Settle back now and make contact. Took a shot right there with a big swing.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count.
Shorten up and put it in play. I say that a lot, but you just got to make that adjustment.
Pitch is up high. They throw back behind the runner, and that was close. Back to first base is Gasparino, but the back pick, and it was close.
Well, they tried to run it earlier, and this time Gasparino, they want to review this again. Take a shot and looking at the review.
I thought we'll beat it back, but it's certainly, I guess, going to be worth the review here to see. And Will did slide in. It depends on the camera angle. We see can't tell where the tag came on the back leg, and we can't from this angle tell it. It just depends on if there's an angle of that right now. So Haberman trying to stay loose. And we saw the catcher Connor Smith throw out Max Ballou and also Tommy Farmer. He's thrown out 2 would-be base stealers. one at second, one at third, and now trying to get one at first.
Yeah, and this one would be at a crucial time. Trying to really separate 3 on the board in this inning, and still a couple on. Long review. The one view we had, here comes the call now.
We only saw one view. That does not mean that that was the only view available. It's the only one we saw. And, well, 2 umpires came out. There was no indication. They're talking to Rusty Filter about it right now. I would say they're probably going to say they didn't get it.
Or this, no more reviews in the game. Something may have come up. I tell you what,
I think that's what it is. I think you're saying he's out of challenges now. Because remember, he challenged one earlier.
Safe at first.
Yeah. So Santa Clara out of challenges now. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ryland Galvan. A full count to Galvan. Runners will be off here on this 3-2 pitch with 2 down. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Galvan strikes out. So after all is said and done, the Longhorns come away empty-handed there, but not before they scored 3 runs on the big blow, the double by Casey Forma, and their 2 runners left on base. We're through 4 complete. It's Texas 7, Santa Clara 1. Nothing in 1 the count to Olsen. Checked his swing. It is strike 2.
That's a good little breaking ball right there. Firm outside corner. Not much you're going to do with it.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Olsen, and he hits a comebacker right to Riojas. Ruger fields it, flips to first for out number 1.
Does a nice job staying with it, not panicking. Knew he had time, gets the out.
1 down. Mateo Garcia is grounded to second and fly to center. First pitch. That one misses for ball 1. Riojas looking in now. Set at the belt, and Ruger's 1-0. Check swing fouled off.
Garcia's had 2 good swings. He's hit 2 balls right on the button, nothing to show for it. Well, you'd love to throw up that 0 inning here and really feel like you've got control of the ball game.
A 1 ball, 1 strike pitch is in there for strike 2. Final line on Luke Harrison was 3 innings pitched plus 2 batters. Allowed 2 hits, 1 run that was earned. He walked 3, struck out 4, hit 1 batter. He threw 68 pitches. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count of Mateo Garcia. Riojas ready in the pitch. Check swing. He did not go around on a high fastball. And the count evens at 2-2.
They got lots of options now after showing that high fastball. Speed the bat up. See what he goes to here.
The stretch. Here's the 2-2 to Garcia. It's off the plate. The count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch now. And the pitch. And that's downstairs for ball 4. So that's the 4th walk issued by Texas pitching, along with 1 hit batter. So there have been 5 free passes that Longhorn pitchers have issued.
Yeah, but they've been able to come back, though. Craig, the big part of that is they've come back and made good pitches. You know, they've had double play ball thrown. They've done some good things after issuing the walks.
So 1 out, 1 on. Ben Cleary at the plate. He has singled and been hit by a pitch. And looks at the first pitch for a strike. SEC Women's Tournament semifinals are underway in Greenville, South Carolina. Milligan won the count. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Ruger Riojas to Ben Cleary. And he hits a fly ball to right. The wind is going to push this foul out of play. It's 0-2. Right now, South Carolina, the number 1 seed in the tournament, the co-champion with Texas, leads Oklahoma, the 5 seed, 29-22. About 6 minutes to go in the first half. Winner of that game will face the winner of tonight's contest between the Longhorns and LSU. Here's the 0-2 to Cleary, and he swings here, and this is going to be a troublesome fly ball. It'll tail to the gap, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Up with it, Blue, runner being waved to the plate. Here comes the throw to the plate, not in time. An RBI opposite field double from Ben Cleary. Scores Mateo Garcia, and it's now a 7-2 ball game.
Now left a breaking ball up. Cleary did a nice job just going with it. Didn't try to do too much with it. And you see what that wind does. That ball just rode the wind once he hit it firm and got that wind to push it. Got all the way to the wall.
Well, we've seen the Longhorns benefit from that in this game, and now it helps out Santa Clara. Malcolm Williams at the plate. First pitch down and in for a ball. Williams is grounded to second and struck out swinging. So the Texas women will play LSU, 2 seed against 3 seed, this evening at 6 o'clock there in Greenville. That pitch fouled off. You can hear that broadcast on 103.1 FM, Austin's 80s station. 103.1 FM. Cameron Parker, Kathy Harston with a call from the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, the Well, as they call it there in Greenville. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Ruger Riojas to Malcolm Williams. It'll be delayed. He'll throw back to second. South Carolina up 5 at 29-24 in that one. And we'll see how that develops. Oklahoma has been really hot in the second half of the season. Of course, Longhorns beat the Sooners in their first ever SEC conference game way back in January. Here's the pitch, and he did go around, did Williams. So it's 1-2 to Malcolm Williams.
We catch the flip. Coin flip was important.
Yeah.
Instead of having Texas playing Oklahoma.
Having to deal with LSU.
Yeah.
The 1-2. This is off the end of the bat. A chopper, a tough play, but handled by Schuessler. Flips to Riojas, covering the back. 3-1 on the putout. It advances Williams to third base. But they're now 2 down.
Well, really nice job by Schuessler. Just smother it. Yeah, right-handed hitter usually hits the ball to first base. He's not going to get a good break out of the box, so you want to make sure you get it caught, and the pitcher's always there to cover, and he was, and get the out.
Dylan Joyce at the plate. Still looking for his first hit of the weekend. Swing and a miss tardy on the fastball, but did contribute last inning. He led off by drawing a walk after striking out 5 times to open the series, but drew a walk and scored on the RBI ground out from Connor Smith. Fouls that one into the screen, and Riojas quickly ahead of Dylan Joyce. No balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned that Dylan is from San Rafael, California, but he played at Puget Sound High School up in the Pacific Northwest. 0-2 the count to Joyce. Riojas, the 0-2. And that's foul into the screen again. So again, that's a 5:45 pregame start time and a 6 o'clock tip-off from Greenville. Texas women against LSU, the 2 seed against the 3 seed in the SEC Women's Tournament semifinals on 103.1 FM. Another 0-2 pitch from Ruger Riojas to Dylan Joyce, and he lifts that foul out of play. Longhorn men have their senior night regular season finale across the freeway from us at Moody Center tonight. Texas to take on Oklahoma. A Red River rivalry basketball to close out the regular season for both of those teams in their first seasons in the Southeastern Conference. That is a 7 o'clock tip-off, 6:30 pregame start time right here on AM 1300 The Zone. The 0-2, again, fouled into the screen by Dylan Joyce. I'll scramble across the freeway to join Eddie Orton for the call of the game tonight. As Texas, of course, in a situation needing to continue to win and maybe even get some help to try to get into the NCAA tournament. No balls, 2 strikes. Remains the count to Dylan Joyce. He lays off the pitch off the plate now, and it's 1-2.
Something I don't know that I know you'll know is, when is the women's selection show?
It is also Selection Sunday. It'll follow the men's show afterwards. So both selections, they started that last year, and both selection shows will be a week from tomorrow. Here's the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Dylan Joyce, and jammed him. A little flare back, and that is a foul ball. Boy, that was close. Call that a foul ball, and it'll remain 1-2. It was a similar type hit last night for the Broncos, and it was Connor Smith who had it that brought in their second run. That was in the top of the 9th inning, and it got the tying run to the plate, but they were able to get out of the inning and win the ballgame.
The wind pushed that foul.
Yeah. Well, it has given and taketh and taken here in this inning. Santa Clara, 1-2 pitch again, fouled into the screen by Dylan Joyce. That wind-blown double. The Longhorns have had a couple of those today. The wind affects those. That double brought home a run off the bat of Ben Cleary, who is the runner at third with 2 down. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Dylan Joyce. A stretch now from Ruger Riojas. And the 1-2. Low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a good at bat. I mean, he's fought off at least 4 or 5 pretty tough pitches. Got it back to an even count. Sometimes it's hard to put guys away.
Riojas will try again. Here's the 2-2 delivery to Dylan Joyce. And that's up and in and almost hit him. The count is full now. Had him down 0-2 in the count. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Longhorns. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Broncos here in the top of the 5th inning. The pitch. And it's downstairs, ball 4, and Ruger was ahead of him 0-2 and winds up losing him on a walk. Second walk of the inning. And they're 2 on with 2 out for Tate Metcalf.
2 runs have scored from walk. This has come from walks.
Joyce scored the first one for Santa Clara, and now Dylan Joyce draws the walk to keep the inning alive. Mateo Garcia had a 1-out walk and scored on Ben Cleary's double. Cleary, the runner at third base. Joyce at first. First pitch to Metcalf misses low for ball 1. Metcalf has walked and doubled. He has not been retired today. One and 0 the count. Here's the pitch. And that is hit a long way, but foul. Out of play down the right field line and out of the ballpark. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ruger hit 95 on that last fastball. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Metcalf. And that one missed upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to count to Tate Metcalf. As Riojas works to try to get out of the inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Metcalf. Swing and a miss. Did chase that one upstairs, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice job right there. Changing eye levels. Get a hitter to go try to chase one upstairs.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Rung him up there, froze him. First strikeout for Ruger Riojas. A big one there to limit the damage in the 5th. Santa Clara scores a run on a hit with 2 runners left on base. Halfway through this one, halfway through the weekend series here in Austin. It's Texas 7, Santa Clara 2, Longhorn baseball.
Again, the top of the order to lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th.
Ethan Mendoza, 2 out of 3 singles in his first 2 trips to the plate. In fact, he had an at-bat in each of the first 3 innings. Single, stolen base, and a run scored in the first. A single, left stranded at third base in the second, and fly to left in the third. Swings at the first pitch, and he hits a ground ball to the shifted over infield where the second baseman, Williams, to the shortstop side of the bag, scoops it up, throws to first. 1 pitch, 1 out.
The shift worked perfectly that time. That was a hit. The ball that was ticking it up the middle, but with the shift on, able to make the out.
1 down. Max Blue at the plate. He struck out swinging, walked, and been hit by a pitch. First pitch misses for ball. That's another one of those ground balls, Keith, where I wrote it down as 4/6-3.
Yeah, it's definitely on the 6th side of second base.
There's the pitch to Blue, and that misses low. Second baseman, the 4 position, makes the play, but in the shortstop position. So we had heard some of the professional announcers call it, the major league announcers, 4/6, like a 4/6-3. There's a ground ball hit, and right to the bag, and a little bit tricky move for Dylan Joyce, but he fields it, steps on the bag, and they're 2 down.
Yeah, it almost like he overran it, trying to hit the bag and catch the ball at the same time. Instead, 2 quick outs here.
With 2 down, Jalen Flores has doubled in a run. He's also driven in a run on a fielder's choice ground ball, walk, stolen a base. He has scored 2 runs. So Jalen having himself an active afternoon as he faces Andrew Haberman for his first full inning, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Victor Martinez, the starter, went 2 1/3 innings. Allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He threw 75 pitches. Here's the windup. The 0-1 swung on and a fly ball hit to center, and now the wind will push it right, but playable there for Max Ross, playing deep enough. He's able to get on it. RJ Mine, with an inning and a third, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, no strikeouts, a balk, hit 2 batters, through 39.
7 and 8 spots in the order for Santa Clara.
Connor Smith struck out looking back in the second and delivered an RBI ground out in the fourth. So he'll work against Riojas. And Ruger's first pitch misses inside for a ball. Riojas ready to go from that third base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. And he couldn't check his swing. Went around. A high fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Foul ball.
Look out.
Yeah, right in front of that Texas dugout. Everybody looks to be all right. Updating that women's SEC tournament semifinal. South Carolina closing the first half on a 14-2 run. It went from 31-26 late in the half to 45-28 at the half. That's what they do. There's a pitch swung on, a high fly ball lifted to left. Wendell obviously keeping the ballpark and then blowing it a long way in, and a dive for the catch by Tommy Farmer. Boy, did he come a long way to make that one as he hit the turf, but he makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, the ball was really hit hard, but it gets up in that breeze. It's being pushed back hard, and Farmer recognized it. He got in great position, and he thought, oh, I got to go. And he was able to catch up to it and secure it. He had to leave his feet, like you said, to make the play.
1 down. Max Ross at the plate. Ross takes the pitch for a strike. So again, winner of that South Carolina-Oklahoma game plays the winner of the Texas-LSU semifinal this evening at 6. 0-1 pitch high and tight. Right now it looks like the Gamecocks, who are really battling, believe it or not, to try to make sure they land the number 1 seed. They've kind of fallen off the table, so to speak, in the minds of the tournament selection committee in the last early reveal. The 1-1 to Ross is low. They dropped them to a 2 seed because they had the consecutive losses to Texas and got blown out on their home court by UConn, who's surging late here in the season. But they played well since. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Caught a piece of it into the mitt on that high fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes they count. So they're still trying to make sure they lock down a 1 seed. I think Texas has already secured a 1 seed. They want more. Stretch now. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch from Ruger Riojas to Max Ross. Checked his swing.
I don't think they want to go Northwest as a 1 seed.
Nick Schaefer has made that abundantly clear since they've been up to the Pacific Northwest 3 of the last 4 years, and they'd rather be in Birmingham. That's if they win the 2 games on their own home floor. 3-2 pitch foul in the screen. And the women's tournament, of course, if you're a top 4 seed in any of the 4 regions, you host first and second round play. Then you go to the regional site. And the Longhorns would like that to be Birmingham, assuming they protect their home court in the first and second round. Another 3-2, and that missed inside. It's another free pass, ball 4. And that'll put Max Ross on base with 1 out here in the 6th.
Right now, getting away with it is the word that I would use.
Yeah.
Because got to find a way. Just when you're averaging a walk an inning or you're giving away a free pass an inning, it makes it difficult. They've done a good job making good pitches and only giving up 2 runs, but still giving them opportunities.
Peyton Lambert swings to the first pitch. This could be 2. Grounded to short. Flores a flip to second for 1. Relay to first. In time. Double play. 6-4-3 Hammonegger. Just what the Longhorns needed. Flores to Mendoza to Schussler. And Riojas and the Horns are out of the 6th. No runs. No hits. Nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Texas 7. Santa Clara 2. Longhorn base.
7-2 Texas lead. Double plays. You walk about her, make good pitch, get a double play ball, get out of the frame in the top of the 6th. 7 runs on 7 hits. No errors for Texas. 2, 3, and 1 for Santa Clara. 4, 5, and 6 due in the order for Texas here in the 6th.
Adrian Rodriguez has walked twice, swings to the first pitch, ground ball to first, 1 pitch, 1 out, as Dylan Joy steps on the bag. So, Andrew Haberman's settled things down for Santa Clara since entering the ball game. We mentioned that he recorded it out last night and allowed an inherited runner to score on a bases-loaded walk to Max Ballou, but see what Rusty Filter likes in this lanky right-hander. Here's Kimball Schussler. He's 0 for 3. Fly to center, line to center, and flied out to left. First pitch in there for a strike. Checking the SEC scoreboard this afternoon. Non-conference play will yield a surprise result or 2. This pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Like Kentucky losing at home to Wofford 12-5 after beating the Terriers last night. 7th-ranked Florida shut out Harvard 7-0 in Gainesville. Here's the 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Swung on and a fly ball hit out to center, but it's where fly balls go to die today. And Schussler is out for the 4th time on the 4th ball he's hit to the outfield this afternoon.
He's hit 2 of them as hard as you can hit them. That ball was absolutely hit right on the button, but right into the teeth of this breeze.
2 down. Tommy Farmer, however, is 2 for 2 and hit by a pitch. He's driven in a run and has scored a run. Here's Farmer, and he just made that impressive catch with the wind blowing it down in front of him last inning. The top of this inning, the 6th, and he swings and misses at the first pitch. Missouri bounces back from a loss to Binghamton last night to beat the Bearcats today in Columbia, 16-6. As we examine the SEC scoreboard on the pitch that's fouled away. 5th-ranked Georgia beats Columbia by that same 16-6 final score. Top-ranked LSU, a 6-2 win over North Alabama. That's in Baton Rouge. In Oxford, 17th-ranked Ole Miss up 9-4 on Jacksonville State. It's in the bottom of the 7th inning. Texas A&M won 19-0 over New Mexico State last night as a pitch misses for a ball. And the Aggies up on the maroon and white Aggies from the land of enchantment. Aggies lead 7-1, bottom of the 7th at Bluebell Park. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count the Farmer in the 1-2. And how did that miss him? It almost hit him.
Just got out of the way of it, didn't he?
South Carolina up 12-1 on Morehead State, bottom of the 3rd. Mississippi State up 10-1 on Queens University of North Carolina. That's in the top of the 9th. 2-2 pitch, popped up, but this one's going to be out of play. 3rd-ranked Arkansas a 10-0 win over Portland. Playing a second game in Gainesville, and Harvard leads Florida 2-1. That's in the bottom of the 1st. They're going to start a second game in Columbia between Missouri and Binghamton in a little bit.
Expecting weather.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-2 pitch, fouled at the plate. 23rd ranked Alabama playing Presbyterian, and they're underway in scoreless Tuscaloosa, top of the 2nd. 22nd ranked Auburn plays Old Dominion in about a half an hour. And number 2 Tennessee hosts St. Bonaventure also in about a half an hour. Here's your check of the SEC scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the 2-2 to Farmer, and that did hit him. So yet another free pass, another hit batter, 3rd hit batter, along with 6 walks today. So 9
free passes.
Just like last night. They had 9.
Hard to overcome. And I would think Farmer would be a threat here at any moment to take off, too.
Tommy was thrown out trying to steal second base back in the 3rd on a nice throw from the catcher, Connor Smith, and a great tag by Malcolm Williams.
Good pick and tag.
Farmer a modest lead from the bag at first. The first pitch to Borba is off the plate for ball 1. One and 0 the count. Here's the 1-0. Farmer was edging away from the bag. He doesn't go when the pitch was called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. A ball off the bat of Kimball Schusler for the out. Exit velocity was 100 miles an hour.
Oh, the ball was smoked.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Borba. Swings here, ground ball, backhanded by the 3rd baseman Olson. He'll throw across the diamond in time. And that will retire the Longhorns in the 6th. No runs, no hits, and a man left. We're through 6 complete at UFC Dish Falk Field. Texas leads Santa Clara 7-2. Longhorn baseball continues in a moment.
2/3 of the game in the books. We go to the top of the 7th. Texas with a 5-run lead. 7 runs on 7 hits. No miscues for the Horns. 2-3-1. Broncos Santa Clara University. Coming to the plate will be 9-1-2 for the Broncos. It is a breezy, is an understatement, Saturday afternoon. Overcast now. We had some sun earlier, and the wind is howling coming in over the scoreboard in left center.
Ruger Riojas beginning his 4th inning of work after the starter Luke Harrison went 3 innings plus a couple of batters. So Nico Olson, who has walked and retired on the comebacker to the mound, comes to the plate now. Riojas ready, and Ruger's first pitch. This is downstairs for a ball. It's not often you'd see this matchup, Ruger against Nico. In terms of your first name matchups, Olson squares the bunt and pitch sails high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
And Nico is spelled N-I-K-O.
That's correct. 2-0 Olson. The number 9 hitter in the Bronco lineup looks at a pitch for a strike. Fastball.
Yeah, he was taking there. That's just squaring around saying, hey, I'm going to take the 2-0 pitch. They need base runners, and Texas has obliged him with that.
2-1 the count. The 2-ball, 1 strike pitch. Fouled straight back.
But they've made good pitches after that. I mean, you go back to the walks and then the double, and then did a good job there, and then a walk and a double, and then come back and start making good pitches.
And got a double play to get out of last inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count Olson, the 2-2. And that's lifted foul out of play down the first base line. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count of Nico Olson. The 2-2. And it rifles that one off the top of the Texas dugout and ricochets all the way down the right field line. Time call while Ballou will retrieve it and will flip it to a fan with a glove. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nico Olson, the Santa Clara third baseman. Here's the pitch from Riojas. And again, that's fouled into the screen. I mentioned Baylor playing Loyola Marymount, also out of the West Coast Conference, up the road from us at Waco, with that gale force wind blowing in sometimes up to 30 miles per hour. Bears lead 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th at the Baylor ballpark. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Pitch outside, the count is full, 3-2.
That's the 60th pitch out of the bullpen.
No activity in the Texas bullpens, walking around, but nothing more than that. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Nico Olson. Riojas with a payoff pitch to Olson. And he takes strike 3. He thought he had ball 4 on the inside corner, and Riojas picks up his second strikeout for out number 1.
Right at the very top of the zone to get the strikeout.
So 1 down.
I mean, it's right at the top of that strike zone.
It's right on that line. 1 down. Mateo Garcia 0 for 2 and a walk and a run scored for the man at the top of the order for the Broncos. Looks at the first pitch for a strike. TCU is up 5-4 on Fresno State. That series in Fort Worth. That's in the bottom of the 7th at Lupton Stadium.
That's chilly there, too.
Mm-hmm. 0-1 the count of Garcia in the pitch. And that just missed him inside. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Speaking of Chile, Kansas is playing in Wichita at Riverfront Stadium in Wichita, and they lead Milwaukee 7-4 in the 7th. The 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Just upstairs. 2-1. It's weird to look at the Big 12 scoreboard and see Utah listed on it.
Yeah. Arizona and Arizona State.
Yeah, the 2-1. And this one jammed him. Ground ball hit into that shallow right shifted area, but on it quickly enough was Mendoza to field it, and he flips to first in time for the second out.
Well, that's one of them. As a first baseman, you're thinking, well, should I have gone for that? And then you instantly think, oh, I got a guy playing rover behind me. I got to break to the bag, and was able to get there to Wes Kimball to get the out.
You almost want to score that one 4/9-3.
He was out there.
2 outs. Ben Cleary has had himself a productive day. He's reached base all 3 times. Looks at the first pitch for a strike. Singled in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, and doubled in a run back in the 5th.
Season high in innings pitched for Ruger.
The pitch here. That's in there for a strike.
Longest
Riojas
outing of the year.
And in line to get the victory, which would run his record for Riojas to 3-0 if the Longhorns maintain the lead.
I would think this is the end of his outing. Don't know that, but pitch count now is approaching 70 pitches.
Yeah, and just now, I believe that's Andre Duplantier who's starting to warm up in the Texas pen. It is Dre. Here's a pitch hit on the ground to short. Flores has it. He'll throw to first. It's in time, and Ruger Riojas winds up working a 1-2-3 inning. 7-inning stretch time at UFC.
8, 9, and 1 spots in the order for Texas.
Meanwhile, Andrew Haberman is quietly tossed 2 1/3 hitless, scoreless innings since coming out of the pen for Santa Clara. It's a ray of sunshine for the Broncos as a ray of sunshine appears, illuminating the outfield, and the first pitch to Gasparino misses outside for a ball.
Well, the scoreboard says 72, but
Doesn't feel like it.
No, well, I just looked at
Ground ball hit the third. Olsen, long throw for out number 1.
local weather. I could feel it, and it's at 62. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
With the wind howling.
1 down for Ryland Galvan, who has walked and scored, flied to center, and struck out swinging. So Haberman now has worked 2 2/3 innings with a strikeout, is not allowed to hit. He's faced 9 batters, thrown 28 pitches. First pitch is there for a strike.
He's done a really nice job. He's come in and he's attacked the strike zone. It's not overpowering stuff. A little slider, a little changeup. Good arm angle on his fastball.
0-1 pitch misses downstairs. Count evens at a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Outside for ball 2, 2-1. Homestand will end on Tuesday night for the Longhorns. They'll host the Mavericks of UT Arlington. 6:30 first pitch. The 2-1 to Galvan. Takes outside. It's 3 balls and a strike. Then will be the opening of SEC play at Duty Noble Field in Starkville next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as the Longhorns take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. 3 balls and a strike. The count, the 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. When I was there on Tuesday, Keith, for the men's basketball game, Mississippi State, Chris Ogden, the Longhorns general manager of the basketball program, and Scott McConnell, the media relations contact, the 3 of us walked into the plaza area at the ballpark. 3-2 pitch foul to the plate because the ballpark is adjacent to Humphrey Coliseum, where the basketball team plays. A very impressive sight.
Yes, it's a heck of a ballpark.
Maybe the most impressive thing, they have the left field lounge out there where people gather, and then they have 3 tiers of suites that are available for the weekend. The 3-2 foul to the plate. Rent them for the weekend.
Yeah, you stay
the series, yeah. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Jim Schlossnagel told me, he said there'll be 18,000 fans in there. All 3 games, making a lot of noise. And that's for a Mississippi State ball club that's pretty good. They've been ranked, near the back end of the top 25, but they've been okay. 3-2 pitch, and that's strike 3 call. Galvan caught looking. And that'll be the strikeout. The second strikeout for Haberman, and they're 2 down.
He's done a nice job. He's come in and thrown strikes.
2 outs, back to the top of the order. Ethan Mendoza is 2 for 4 today. His first 2 at-bats yielded base hits, a stolen base, and run scored. He has since flied to left and hit into, grounded out. 4-3 with the play being made by the shortstop, Cleary, in shallow right. So, 0-1, the count. Here's the play. Pitch. It's a first strike. It's actually made by the second baseman Williams on the shortstop side of the bag. 4/6-3. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Ethan Mendoza. Wind up in the pitch. Misses downstairs, 2-1. So the sun has popped back through the cloud cover, but the wind's still really whipping across the ballpark from left field to right field. 2 balls and a strike to count. The 2-1. And this is hit on the ground to the vacated area. And a nice job by Mendoza to pick up his 3rd hit of the afternoon against the shift as he bounces it through on the right side for a 2-out single.
Well, that's just really smart hit. He said, you're going to throw me a fastball away and you're going to play me to pull. I'm just going to hit a ground ball to second, and he does that and ends up with his 3rd hit of the day.
So now Max Ballou, still in search of his 1st hit of the afternoon, comes to the plate. He is struck out swinging, walked, been hit by a pitch, and grounded out to first. 2 down. And the pitch. He swings and fouls it off. Nothing in one, the count. Stretch from the right-hander, Andrew Haberman. And the pitch to Max Ballou is taken for a ball.
So take something off of that, turn it over. A two-seamer.
A ball and a strike, the count of Ballou with 2 down. Looks at that one for strike 2. Floated in at 77.
Backdoor breaking ball that time.
One ball and 2 strikes to count. The 1-2. It's outside.
I think Dre is ready to go. I think he's going to come into the game.
Plantier with the jacket back on now after warming up for a while in the pen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2. And strike 3 called. Ballou thought it a little bit elevated. That's the 3rd strikeout for Andrew Haberman, 2nd in the inning. He works around a 2-out base hit. No runs on a hit and a man left. To the 8th we go. Texas 7, Santa Clara 2. Longhorn baseball continues in a moment.
Into the game, but see how things go here. We go to the top of the 8th inning. What is a 7-2 Texas lead. It will be the meat of the order. 3-4-5-2 for Santa Clara here and top of the 8th.
Malcolm Williams leads it off. He's 0 for 3 today. He's grounded to second, struck out swinging, and grounded out to first. So Ruger Riojas about to throw his 70th pitch. And it's a fastball at 92 off the plate for ball 1. And Plantier staying loose and ready in case he's called upon. Riojas, the stretch in the pitch. That one off the plate for ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes as more debris rustling around in the breeze.
Good call. Well, the fans, a lot of them have gotten chilly and have left. And all of a sudden, that debris starts really flying.
2 balls, no strikes, the count on the 2-0. Foul straight back. Seen several of those big peanut bags, the green peanut sacks that are floating around in the wind. So 2 balls and a strike, the count. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Ruger Riojas to Malcolm Williams. And he jammed him, he fouled it back. 2-2 the count.
Somebody got a ricochet.
Yeah. Seeing fans, several in blankets now, dotted around the ballpark. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and a fly ball hit to left, drifting back. Farmer with the play to make the catch for out number 1.
Well, you hit that ball right on the button, but it's, again, you go that direction. It's difficult on the outfielder, but as you think that ball really jumps in the infield, then it hits that breeze and it throws the brakes on.
And you go unrewarded.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Dylan Joyce, who scored one of the 2 runs for Santa Clara. He's walked twice and struck out swinging. Riojas ready to work to him. And the first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. I mentioned earlier about Dylan going to high school, the grad student, and being from San Rafael, California, he went to Marin Catholic. And I mentioned Puget Sound, but that wasn't the high school. That was the Division III school, University of Puget Sound. And from 2020 to 2023, Dylan Joyce was a 2-time All-Region and 3-time first-team All-Conference player at the D3 level. 0-2 pitch fouled off. He hit 39 career home runs, 134 career RBIs, 291 stolen bases, and also 15 saves on the mound for the University of Puget Sound.
Two-way player.
All of those are records at the University of Puget Sound. This pitch is hit in the air, and he hits this well. The wind's going to help carry this back to the warning track, and it is gone. Yep, going the opposite way where the wind can help you. And Dylan Joyce has his first hit of the weekend, his second home run of the season, and it makes it a 7-3 ball game.
Well, you said it perfectly. He hit the ball pretty well, but it just got up and it rode that wind and got into the Texas bullpen.
With so many balls hit out to left and center today where they were knocked back into play or prevented from getting a lot of depth, that one was hit perfectly the way the wind's blowing. Swing and a miss by Metcalf for strike one. So Dylan Joyce has his first hit of the weekend, and it's a big fly to make it a 7-3 ball game with one out here in the eighth. This one is lifted down the right field side, but it's going to curve foul out of play. Maybe the Broncos making a concerted effort to go to right.
Well, you try to play the elements some as a hitter, but more importantly, you got to just get the ball on the barrel and it'll dictate where the ball goes.
0-2 the count of Metcalf. Riojas stretching the pitch. Laid off. High fastball at 93 on the gun. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the count. Out of the stretch. The pitch. Just caught a piece of it, fouled it back. Thanks to Mark Rivera, by the way, the Santa Clara Media Relations staff, with that note on Dylan Joyce. Impressive stuff for the guy. And to do that, go D3 and then be able to not only play but really contribute at the Division I level. Impressive stuff there. Here's the 1-2 to Metcalf, and that one sails upstairs for ball 2.
It's got underneath it. 83 pitches now.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Riojas working from that far left third base side of the pitching rubber. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase, and the tag will be put on him by Galvan as Metcalf is retired, and there's 2 down.
Good spinner that time. And started it out away and then broke it off the plate. Nice pick by Galvan. Let him finish here. That's real extension out of your bullpen to get into the mid-80s in the pitch count.
2 down for Connor Smith. 0-2 with an RBI ground out. The first pitch pops out of the mitt of Galvan and skitters it over to the side. So 2 down, 3 strikeouts now for Ruger Riojas. Out of the stretch. Ruger's pitch. Jammed him, fouls it up and back out of play. A ball and a strike the count to Connor Smith. Set at the belt is Riojas, and the 1-1. Swung on, hard hit ball, and that's through on the left side of base hit. Connor Smith has his first hit of the day. Remember, he had that pinch hit RBI single in the 9th last night. So it's his second hit of the weekend, and he's aboard with a 2-out single to left, and that may be all for Ruger Riojas. Jim Schlossnagel will go to the mound. Andre Duplantier is ready. We're going to have a call to the bullpen here in the top of the 8th inning. Ruger done after 87 pitches, but in line to get the win. We have a call to the bullpen here in the 8th with a score: Texas 7 and Santa Clara 3. Longhorn baseball.
As we play here in the top of the 8th inning.
Ruger Riojas came very close to his all-time career high. Remember, he transferred in from UTSA. Season high easily for him in going 4 2/3 innings and throwing 87 pitches. His career high is 5 2/3 and 90 pitches, and that was against UT Arlington. So a season high for him, and Platier's first pitch is a strike. as he delivers it to Max Ross. Ross is hit into a double play, a 6-3 double play. He retired on the comeback to the mound. He walked and was erased in a 6-4-3 double play. A big moment back in the sixth, and he takes the ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Max Ross. 2 down here in the top of the 8th with Texas up 7-3. Stretch from Duplantier, and Dre's pitch is off the plate for ball 2.
Just missed with that bender, trying to do backdoor with the slider.
Two balls and a strike the count. Plantier set and the pitch. That's off the plate again, and it's 3-1. Three balls and a strike the count to Max Ross. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning with Texas leading Santa Clara 7-3. The stretch. Here's the pitch. This one's hit on the ground to second. Charging. Mendoza has it. Flips to first and that'll retire the Broncos in the 8th. They get a run on 2 hits. The run, the homer by Dylan Joyce, and a runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is Texas 7, Santa Clara 3. Longhorn baseball continues in a moment.
Texas 7, 8-0 for the Horns, 3-5-1 for the Broncos. Santa Clara University coming to the plate will be the meat of the order. 3, 4, and 5 due for Texas here in the home half of the 8th inning.
So, Jalen Flores doubled in a run and scored back in the first inning. Brought in another run with a fielder's choice ground ball in the second. Walked, stole a base, and scored in the fourth and flied to center in the 5th. So, first pitch. Misses for ball 1. A couple of changes for Santa Clara defensively. A pitch, a check swing, it misses downstairs. New man behind the plate is Cohen Karsten. First time we've seen him this weekend. And in right field is Andrew Raymond. First time we've seen him as well. As that pitch misses. And it is 3 balls and no strikes as Haberman is trying to get through this bottom of the 8th and help Rusty Filter save the rest of that staff for the series finale tomorrow. 3-0, taken all the way for a strike, and it's 3-1. Back in the box is Flores. And he swings here and lines it down the left field line. It's a base hit. Jalen looking at it. He'll make the turn and he'll dig for second. And Jalen Flores, another double. He now has 10 doubles on the year. It's his second one of the afternoon.
Good hustle there. Leave home plate, thinking too. As a liner, they've been bunching the outfielders, Craig, all day today, where they're playing into the gaps. There's a lot of room down the line, and once that ball got down, you knew Flores was going to turn the corner, get into scoring position.
So that's the 12th extra base hit for Jalen Flores in the last 7 ball games, and that might be the last batter that Andrew Haberman faces this afternoon as Rusty Filters walked back out to the mound. We've had a left-hander warming up in the pen. So now, Adrian Rodriguez at the plate. He's walked twice and scored a run. Looks at the first pitch downstairs for a ball. Jalen Flores standing at second base after his second double of the afternoon. Pitch is taken for a strike by Rodriguez. Adrian still looking for his first hit of the weekend. 1 ball and 1 strike in the count. He went 0 for 4 last night. Big swing and a miss on an elevated pitch, and it's now 1-2.
You see that ball so well, Craig, and you think you can get on top of it, you just can't. All fastball so far from the lefty.
Here's the pitch, and that's fouled into the screen. Henry Stewart. Don't often see the single-digit pitcher out there. Single
You
digit.
don't see many of them, do you?
Where's jersey number 5? The 1-2, ground ball, hit the second. Up with it, Williams throws to first.
That's a good piece of hitting.
Yeah, it does.
I know that he would love to drive him in, but what did he do? Move the runner up. That's good offense.
Productive out there to advance Flores to third base on out number 1. So, 1 out. Now,
Santa Clara with the infield back, I would think they would come up. Now they're coming up halfway.
yep. Here's another guy looking for a hit. Kimball Schusler has really made great contact this afternoon.
Sure has.
4 fly ball outs into that breeze. First pitch down and in for a ball. 1-0 the count.
He had exit velocity on one of the balls. He hit of 100. Smoked him.
Here's the 1-0. Pitch misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to count. The 2-0. That's fouled back into the screen for strike 1.
2-0 changeup.
Two balls and a strike to the count. To Kimball Schusler. Infield is up for Santa Clara. Jalen Flores, the runner at third base. The pitch taken for strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to count.
Comes back with a fastball there after the changeup and gets the count even.
2-2 the count to Schusler. The left-hander Stewart. The stretch and the pitch. Fouled straight back.
Kimball is a veteran hitter. Guy that knows. You see him that time. He was staying back. He was trying to go to right field, get the job done here. It doesn't have to be a base hit. Just hit something to right into the air. With this breeze, it'll get out there far enough and get the guy in from third. That's your job.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count. The 2-2. And it's fouled off the screen again. So 2-2 the count. Schusler back in the box now. And he swings here and a ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Schusler with his first hit of the day. It scores Jalen Flores from third, and the Longhorns now lead it 8-3.
Nice job of staying back and making contact, and got it back through the box after hitting the ball the way that Kimball had hit it all day. That's the least hard hit ball that he's had. It turns into a knock.
And that's the game, isn't it?
It is, in a nutshell.
So, Longhorns get the run out of that. Now Farmer at the plate. Looks at a pitch upstairs for a ball. Kimball with his 5th RBI of the season. Jalen Flores scores his 3rd run of the afternoon.
You got to allow the hitter to get set and look at you. Each pitcher gets that one warning.
That warning issued to Henry Stewart. That run will be charged to Andrew Haberman. Pitch misses for a ball. Haberman went 3 1/3, allowed 2 hits, a run that was earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts, hit a batter. He threw 50 pitches. Henry Stewart, the 4th pitcher of the afternoon. And that pitch is a strike. balls and a strike the count. The pitch, Farmer pops this one up.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's pushed out of play and onto the concourse right by the player development center.
Anything that starts out on the right-hand side of second base when it leaves the bat, it's an interesting play, what the ball's going to do.
2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The stretch from Stewart in the 2-2. And that is strike 3 call. So Farmer called out on strikes. And they're 2 down. 6th Longhorn to strike out this afternoon. Casey Borba has the key hit of the day. A bases clearing double back in the 4th inning. Sent that one toward the alley in right center, and the wind helped push it into the gap. In the 9th for Santa Clara, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due to face Andre Duplantier. Stepping the throw over to first. Schussler steps back. Here's the stretch now. Another throw to first. The pitch now from Stewart, and that one bends in for a strike.
One of the few curveballs we've seen him throw.
Yeah.
It's been fastball changeup.
And it was a nice one there. Clocked in at 73 and dropped right in. 0-1 the count to Casey Borba with 2 down and a run home for Texas here in the 8th. This one's chopped on the ground to short. Up with it, Cleary. Throw across the diamond in time. And that'll retire Texas in the 8th. Longhorns tack on 1 more run on 2 hits with a runner left. We go to the 9th.
Ball game. Andre Duplantier out to try to finish it off.
So, Dre back out there after he was able to get the final out in the top half of the 8th inning. Ruger Riojas' final line, he went 4 2/3 innings. Allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3, struck out 3, threw 87 pitches. That's a season high for him as a Longhorn, both in innings pitched and in number of pitches. And he's in line for the win for Texas. Meanwhile, at the plate, Andrew Raymond will get his first at bat of the weekend. The right fielder in from the left side against Duplantier. And the first pitch misses downstairs for a ball. Raymond, in 11 ball games, 3 as a starter, is batting .167. No homers, no runs batted in. Duplantier ready in the pitch. Swung on, and that is yanked foul past first base. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Raymond, 6'5", 215-pound, left-handed hitting freshman. He's from Spokane, Washington. Raymond, spelled R-A-Y-M-E-N-T. Andrew Raymond. Swing and a miss. For strike 2, now the Longhorns will throw the shift into play. Casey Borba will trot to the second base position, basically, and Ethan Mendoza will go into shallow right field with the heavy shift on. The pitch. Off the plate. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count. The play, Duplantier ready, swing and a miss, and he strikes out Raymond for out number 1 here in the top of the 9th. Next up, we'll see a pinch hitter. Kai Cunningham will come on as a pinch hitter. So Cunningham will bat for Nico Olson. Also a left-handed hitter. And Cunningham, for the season, has seen action in 5 ball games. He's 0 for 6 at the plate with a run scored, and he's been hit by a pitch once. He swings to the first pitch and chops it foul past first base. Kai is a redshirt sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. 5'9", 175-pound left-handed hitter. So Kai Cunningham batting here in the 9th with 1 out. 0-1 the count. And the pitch misses for a ball. We invite you to stay tuned for the post-game show. Afterwards, Keith will be down on the field with head coach Jim Schlossnagle. We'll have highlights, stats. It's all coming up on the post-game. Here's the stretch and the pitch from Duplantier, swinging a foul tip into the mid. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count. Plantier ready. Dre with the 1-2 pitch. And Cunningham chops it foul at the plate. One and 2 the count. Plantier ready. Andre's 1-2 delivery. Again, fouled at the plate. Kai Cunningham keeps the at-bat alive. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Duplantier ready. And the 1-2. Swung on and a fly ball hit out toward right with the wind helping it. Back to the warning track, and it is caught up against the wall by Max Ballou. Tracked it all the way. Able to make the catch for the 2nd out here in the 9th. Nice grab by Ballou. So 2 down. Back to the top of the order, and the final hope is Mateo Garcia. Garcia over unscored. Again, the shift moves over. Tomorrow afternoon, 12:45 pregame start time, and the first pitch at 1 o'clock, the finale of this 3-game weekend series. First pitch misses downstairs for a ball. And tomorrow we'll see Dylan Volantis make his first start as a Longhorn. Here's the stretch and the pitch. And that's in there for a strike. One ball, 1 strike, the count with 2 down. Plantier looks in now. Dre set. Here's the pitch. That misses downstairs. And it's 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike, the count. Duplantier sets himself now. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Garcia, and that's low for ball 3, and it's 3-1. Fans wanting this one to be in the books here. Grumbling a little bit at the home plate umpire, Angel Campos. 3 balls and a strike, the count with 2 down. From the stretch, Andre Duplantier. A 3-1 delivery to Mateo Garcia. Swings here and a fly ball hit out to left. This should do it. Tommy Farmer settles under, makes the catch, and that will end the ball game. In the 9th, 1-2-3 go the Broncos. Final score this afternoon, Texas Longhorns 8, the Santa Clara Broncos 3. The Longhorns take the series. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow. We'll have today's postgame show coming up next when Longhorn baseball continues in a